Hello and welcome to Combat Patrol Carnage. So we're back with our second episode of Combat Patrol Carnage, and we are beginning issue 2. So issue 2 is a little bit more of a full issue, as we actually have our first painting page, although it's more a rough introduction to painting. For new units and models though, we get the awesome Von Ryan's Leapers, some fantastic Tyranid Vanguard organisms. For the articles inside, we do have a couple of pages for Tyranids, including a look at Vanguard organisms and of the main Tyranid invasion fleets. There's also a page for the Imperium, as we can't have the magazine without something for the Imperium. And then of course we have our build articles and our new pages for playing and collecting to go through as well. So as usual, a big shout out from our sponsor, which is warbay.shop, your one-stop place for all your hobby needs. They buy and sell both new and used armies, including piles of shame. They also sell paintbrushes and gaming aids, such as tokens and the like. So check them out, warbay.shop. There'll be a link in the description down below. And yeah, you might just find your next hobby project for a little bit of a discount. Right, speaking of our next hobby project, we've got some new models to build. So I'll jump over the table and we'll build our Von Ryan's Leapers. So here we are with issue 2 then. We have our 3 Von Ryan's Leapers on their frame. We also have 3 40mm round bases there for them to go on. So I'll put those off to the side as we'll need them in just a sec. First off, let's take a close look at that frame. And we can see all the detail there. So you've got really fine details such as the mouths here. So very delicate tentacle things, so be careful. We've got some extra base details for some of the models. And yeah, some really cool but delicate limbs here. I mean, as the name suggests, they have a nice leaping pose. And even one on a tactical Tyranid rock there. So yeah, we'll be building those in just a sec. So let's open up a magazine and take a look inside. As always, I've got my tools to the side here. So we're straight into our build guide. So we got 2 pages of that. So yeah, we got a quick reminder about clipper safety at the top. In this build guide, you'll learn how to build your Von Ryan Leapers. Read the instructions in full before you begin building. So yeah, you've got how to clip out components, test fit before making sure they are fully pushed together, especially if you're using glue. Making sure you put things to one side if you're using glue, let it dry, and also to make sure no gaps are visible when you are push fitting, and of course mold line remover safety. So I think we'll head straight in and we'll start building our first Von Ryan's Leaper. So we'll kick things off with parts 1, 2 and 3. And now push the last arm in place. So there we have our first Von Ryan Leaper all pushed together. And to mount him to his base, we got 2 posts on his right leg here, which go into the holes on the base. Just put gentle pressure. We don't want to break anything off. And we have our first Von Ryan's Leaper complete. So we'll flip the page. And moving on to our second one, so we need to start with parts 11, 10 and 12. And putting our final arm on for our second leaper, like so. He's got a nice actual leaping pose. So bring our base in. We've got a little bit of base detail to apply first. So that goes in this hole. Ouch, it's a bit spiky, so be careful. And then his foot goes in the other hole like so. Yeah, he's sort of like a changing direction pose. He was charging that way, then suddenly he saw something nice that way. It's like, ooh, snack. So there we have 2 leapers down onto our third and final one. So we'll start with the body again, so parts 20, 21 and 22. And ready with our final arm. Just push it into place. So there, slightly back over his head. And we have our third and final leaper complete. So bringing our base, we got again another little piece of base detail that we want to put in there somehow. There we go. And then we got a post on his back foot there. That goes in like so, and he is leaping forward, ready to devour. So there we have our 3 Von Ryan's Leapers complete. Now we've got a quick little introduction on painting to read before we can close off the episode. How to paint Citadel miniatures. Painting Warhammer miniatures makes them look better, makes your games more immersive, and is a fun and rewarding hobby in its own right. As this collection progresses, you'll receive paints and brushes, alongside tutorials for painting your models. Don't worry if you're a beginner, getting started is simple. So there are 3 stages to painting. So we have base coats, shading, and then highlighting. So first off, base coats. Base coats are the foundation of any good paint scheme. Using high coverage base paint, you'll block in the key areas of colour on your model for later painting. Shades. Shades make adding natural depth and shadows to your models simple. Just apply a layer and the shade paint flows into the recesses of your miniature. Highlights. A few carefully applied highlights makes an enormous difference, bringing out the fine detail of your models and making them really stand out in battle. Models for all painters. Each combat patrol brings new challenges and new lessons for you to learn. Painting all of them will give you a great foundation in painting Warhammer miniatures. Your painting journey. Take your time when painting your models. It may be a bit tricky at first, but the more you paint, the better you'll get. This collection has been designed to teach you at a steady pace, ensuring that by the time you're done, you'll have plenty of awesome models to be proud of. So we got some awesome looking models. I guess these are going to be how the collection will be painting them. So we got a Chaos dude here with a burning book and a bonking stick. And he's painted up in the classic black and gold colours of the Black Region. We have the Eldar Warlord here with his spear casting a spell, looks like it, or commanding his troops. So he's done in the red and white of the same Han. Then we have a Gene Stealer hybrid of the Pauper Princes, done in the classic white and red with the blue skin there. Some nice yellow details on the chainsaw. And finally we got a little squat guy from the Kronos Hegemony in nice yellow and black colour scheme, so that's pretty cool. I've actually watched a few videos on how to paint these, and yeah, I like them. Paint guides. Painting might seem daunting at first, but the paint guides in this collection are designed to make it easy. Every model you receive is painted in simple stages, starting with the core colours and basic elements, and finishing on more challenging and rewarding details on the miniatures. Citadel paints. This collection includes all the Citadel colour paints you'll need to paint every one of your combat patrols. So our first paints are in 2 issues time, so issue 4, with Wraithbone, Macragge Blue and Barrackdar Burgundy there. The Citadel Starter Brush. So the Citadel Starter Brush is a versatile staple of any painter's toolbox. Ideal for when you start painting, look out for it in issue 4. So bog standard basic brush. Don't expect it to last too long in previous experience. Technique guides. Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol also features technique guides. This will teach you the most important painting techniques such as base coating, shading and more. These will be useful for all of your models, including any Warhammer miniatures you choose to paint in the future. So keywords. Keep an eye out for the keyword font on painting guides. When you see a keyword, it means you'll receive a guide that explains the technique in further detail. You can refer to these technique guides for tips and reminders. So we got the undercoat keyword here. So an undercoat is applying base a single colour over the entire model, which we'll learn of in the first paint issue. Whew! So that's it for issue 2, part 1. And yeah, we've built our awesome new Von Ryan's Leapers. I think this one's my favourite. Definitely the leader of the pack. Taking his time to track his prey and then leap off. But yeah, awesome new models to add to our collection. And we've learned a little bit about how paint guides work in the collection. So I'm sure we'll have more of that in future issues. But yeah, there we have it. That's it for issue 2, part 1. I'll see you next time, where we read all about the Imperium and the various forces of the Tyranids. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Combat Patrol Carnage. Goodbye.